Hi everyone, welcome to our first flipped lesson. This lesson is going to be on the order of operations. So you guys will be able to evaluate expressions using the order of operations, hopefully by the end of this video. If at any time you feel like I'm moving too fast, then you can pause it and rewind it and move at your own pace. Here we go. Okay, so the order of operations has an acronym that you can use to help you remember the order of the steps. So we say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please starts with a P. And so that tells us that parentheses is the first thing that we should always look for inside a problem. Next we have excuse. Excuse reminds us to do exponents second. Third, we have my dear. Even though those are broken up into two words, those are both in the same step, and those stand for multiplication and division. If they both show up in the same problem, if you have a multiplication sign and a division sign, you simply move from left to right. You do whichever one comes first in the problem. And then finally, we have Aunt Sally. This is the same way. If they both show up in the same problem, then you move from left to right and do whichever one comes first. Okay, so let's just talk about which operation we would do first. We're not going to solve these problems. We're only going to look at the operations. So in 4 plus 3 times 2, we have addition, multiplication, and we have an exponent of 2. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please is parentheses. I don't see any parentheses there. So then we move on to excuse. Excuse reminds us to do exponents next. So in 4 plus 3 times 2 squared, we have to find the value of 2 squared before we do anything else. Moving on, 8 minus 2 inside parentheses times 5. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please is parentheses. Well, we do have parentheses in this problem. So we're going to have to do 8 minus 2 first. Finally, on the bottom, we have 10 minus 3 plus 1, subtraction and addition. Please excuse my dear, multiplication and division, Aunt Sally, addition and subtraction. Well, we learned on the previous slide that even though we say Aunt Sally, add, subtract, if they both show up in the same problem, we do whichever one comes first, from left to right. So in this case, we'll do 10 minus 3 first. Okay, get out a sheet of paper. We're going to do a problem together. Okay, 16 plus parentheses 5 minus 3 times 2. So let's say their acronym. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please, parentheses. I do have parentheses in this problem. So I'm going to rewrite the entire problem, but instead of writing 5 minus 3, I'm going to substitute in a 2, because 5 minus 3 is 2. So 16 plus 2 times 2. Notice everything else came straight down. Everything is in line still. Now I have addition and multiplication. Please excuse my dear. Well, I don't have, we did parentheses. Excuse comes next, and I don't have any exponents. So then we do my dear, multiply and divide. I do have multiplication, so that's what I'll do second. So instead of writing 2 times 2, I'm going to substitute in a 4. 16 plus 4 equals 20, and we're finished. Let's try another. All right, 3 squared plus parentheses 8 plus 2 divided by 2. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please, parentheses. Yep, there it is. So 8 plus 2 is what I'll have to do first. We know that 8 plus 2 is 10. So everything else is going to come straight down in the problem. But instead of writing 8 plus 2, I'm going to substitute in a 10. So now I have 3 squared plus 10 divided by 2. We did parentheses, so please excuse. Excuse stands for exponents. I do have an exponent right here, 3 squared. 3 squared stands for 3 times 3, which is 9. So 9 plus 10 divided by 2 will be our next problem. Okay, so now we have addition and division. Please excuse my dear. Multiply, divide. So we have to do division next. So instead of writing 10 divided by 2, we're going to substitute in a 5, because 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 9 plus 5 equals 14, and we're finished. All right, on your sheet of paper or inside your math notebook, I would like for you to try the next 5 problems that you see. This is where you're going to need to pause the video and work through the problems. When you're finished, unpause the video and check your answers on the next slide. Go ahead and pause. Okay, how did you do? You'll see that I've underlined each of the operations that you were supposed to do first. If you didn't get an answer correct, check and make sure that you did the same operation first that I did. Okay, so how do you feel? Do you feel like you did pretty well? Do you feel like you're ready to try a hard one? If you are, let's check out the next one. This will be the very, very last one, and will let me know if you're ready to apply these problems in class. Okay, 20 minus 3 times 6 plus 102 plus 6 plus 1 in parentheses times 4. Holy cow, this looks crazy. But if you follow the order of operations, you just do one step at a time, and I think you can do it. All right, so go ahead and see if you can figure this out in your math notebook and bring it on Monday, December 7th to show me if you're ready to go. Again, if you need to rewatch this, please do so. If you have any questions, make sure you come see me during IE or shoot me an email. Thanks, and hopefully this works out well and we can try it again.